Special guest joining us today, we've got Chris Spruill, and Chris is a really interesting guy. He's got a lot of cool stuff that he's involved in. He's got a group called EnhancedGroup1.com is his company, but he works with a lot of different organizations on marketing and PR, and even works with an MMA league in Florida, which is really cool. Let's say hello to Chris. How are you, sir?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for inviting me to the show.
Yeah, glad to have you on the program. Now, we'll talk about all of these different things, but we'll kind of mention the MMA for a second here because, you know, with mixed martial arts, it's interesting. They were just in the news recently when it was at the awards show where she was up there saying, you know, if all the movies and everything go away, all that would be left is football and mixed martial arts, and that is not arts. And I was like, wait, it's right in the name, mixed martial arts. But this is a thing where people who have not been to an event, which she clearly has never been to an event, but if you've not been to an event, you don't understand what you're missing. It's a fun sport, isn't it?
It really is, man. And it's a very, very hot topic, you know, going on right now, especially on what just happened recently.
Yeah.
With Rhonda. You know, getting knocked out.
and that was a thing where, you know, she stepped in the ring. Everybody thought, oh, this is going to be one heck of a fight. And like less than a minute later, you're like, well, that was interesting.
Yeah, man. I mean, to be quite honest with you, you know, I wasn't surprised. I was surprised on her getting knocked out so quick, but I wasn't surprised on her taking that big L.
Yeah.
Especially if you're really, really into the sport.
And that's the thing. You win some, you lose some. That means you got to lose some, you know, so it's bound to happen no matter who you are. But in business, you know, you don't want to lose some. You want to win some, win some, win some, win some. And that's where you need to have somebody like Chris on your team because they can help you with marketing and developing websites and public relations. And now, how did you get involved in doing this stuff, Chris?
Oh, man, it's such a long story. I don't want to bore you. But, yeah, I mean, business has always been my passion. Basically, I was selling products on eBay. Make a long story short, I asked a friend to do a favor for me to build a website. You know, they dragged their feet on me. I got frustrated, and I basically taught myself how to build a website. Long after that, I took courses and went to classes on how to code and different things like that. But my first website, you know, I was so excited. And I was like, okay, now I'm going to make all of this money. This is the best website ever. And nobody knew about my website, you know. And so then I had to learn marketing. And it just grew from there.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Kind of self-made. You said, hey, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go out and find a way to do this. That's really cool.
Yes, sir. I like to refer myself as the Black Mark Cuban.
All right.
Humbly speaking.
I love that. So you're a shark as well then, are you?
Yes, man.
Again, our guest right now, Chris Spruill, and he's got a company called Enhanced Group One. EnhancedGroup1.com is the website. I'm on the website right now, and I see that you do a website development, but you also do logo design. That's something that's important for a business because if you've got just a boring logo that doesn't look fun, but you're trying to sell fun, it's probably not going to work, is it?
Absolutely not. And you know, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, I try to advise other business owners that you can't do it all. And what I mean by that is you have to get with the expert. I mean, the whole reason why you became an entrepreneur is so you'll be able to have freedom. So you kind of want to work smart versus hard.
Yeah.
And you want to, you know, surround yourself or hire people that's smarter than you. So there's a science behind everything, especially when it comes to building a logo.
Yeah, because like I said, you don't want to, if you're trying to sell fun, you don't want it to be a boring logo. But then again, like if you're a funeral home, you don't want it to be a logo that looks like, you know, a really fun thing because that doesn't quite work either.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, if somebody listening is saying, you know, man, I really could use some help with my business, or maybe they're listening saying, you know, we've had the same logo forever. Is it an expensive thing to get a logo created? Is that something that they have to like plan for 3 years and save up, or is it pretty affordable to do something like that?
It's very affordable. And as a business owner, you have to have a different mindset. And when I say that, meaning like you have to look at everything as an investment, right? So I once heard a wise man say, cheap isn't always better, because you can go with something that's cheap, but you don't get the result that you were looking for. So you always want to look at everything as an investment, you know, and not always as a dollar amount.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. I remember reading in a book one time, there was a guy that was talking about and he used the example of peanut butter. He said, there are people who will go to the store and they'll buy, 10 ounces of peanut butter for $1 because it's cheaper than the one that's 20 ounces of peanut butter for $1.50. But when you figure out per ounce, the 20 ounces for $1.50 is cheaper. So there's some people that say, I'm buying this one because it's cheaper, and others that are saying, I'm buying that one because it's cheaper, and they're both right. It all depends on if you're looking at the long run, overall, this one's cheaper. Is it just right now? Well, yeah, then this one's cheaper, but you're not getting as good of a deal. So, that price is always something that's so subjective, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a very, very good point that you just brought up.
Well, again, visiting right now with Chris Spruill. Chris, if people want to reach out and talk to you about logo design, or if they're saying, hey, I'd like to have you help me with the website, or maybe they're going to say, hey, I'd like to sponsor that MMA league down in Florida that you work with because that sounds like fun for my business. How would people go about getting a hold of you, and how do they find you?
Man, there's several different ways that you can find me. You can reach out to me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Christopher Spruill. That's Spruill. Or you can reach out to my team at info@enhancedgroup1.com. I just want to make this clear. I don't want to take all the credit. It's not just me, but I have an awesome team behind me that has a lot of experience in what they do.
That's awesome. And it's good that you make sure you share the credit. Even the best quarterback won't make it to the Super Bowl by themselves. They got to have a team. So that's awesome that you're shining the light on the others that are helping you make it happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. And please let's not talk about football. Because I'm so mad right now that the Cowboys did not make it.
So this has not been your year?
No.
Well, Chris, I appreciate you taking some time to chat with us. It's been a lot of fun to visit, and we'll visit in the future. I know he said he's going to try to line up some interviews with me for some of these MMA fighters. I think that would be fun. So I'm looking forward to that in the future, but thank you for taking time to chat with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Again, Chris Spruill has been our guest today. You can learn more about him on their website, enhancedgroup1.com, and you can either type it out or just put in the number 1. I like that he's got it both ways. Makes it easy. Enhanced Group 1.